What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Thursday Night Football Show. I'm Ivan Vargas. Got an interesting matchup tonight in the AFC. Cleveland versus Denver Broncos and the Browns. Both teams sitting at 500, 3-3. And through 6 weeks, they're kind of mirror images of each other. They both, technically, Denver is a more even team on offense. But right now, we don't know whether Teddy Bridgewater is healthy or not, and whether we're going to see Drew Lock start the game. I feel like Teddy is a go if he's healthy, but he's suffering from an ankle and a quad injury, and that might keep him out for this game if he can't go at the start. But if you look over at the Denver Broncos, they have their own issues at quarterback with Baker Mayfield being out with a shoulder injury that he suffered earlier in the season. And honestly, if it wasn't for that number one rushing attack for the Cleveland Browns, I don't know where they'd be. They'd be in a much worse situation than they are right now. They do have a good pass rush on defense. Their defense has been decent, but like I said, they're kind of similar to the Denver Broncos. Both teams are in a flux. They don't have very consistent offenses, even though I say Denver's a little more balanced, just because they've been able to so far through 6 weeks in the season have about a 100-yard rusher in 5 of those weeks, I believe. I think the only week that they were held under 100 yards was, against Jacksonville in week 2, which is kind of surprising, but they had 96. So they're only 4 yards away from 100. But they've had 100 yards in each game other than that. Like I said, their offense, their passing attack is okay, led by Cortland Sutton in the receiving core, but you need to have a healthy Teddy Bridgewater for this thing to work. The defense needs you need to be able to be consistent. I feel like last week they got burnt by the by the Las Vegas Raiders pretty bad through the air, and on the ground it was kind of the same. The Raiders don't have a very good rushing attack, but were able to muster up 86 yards, and that's a little much for even me, because I feel like the Raiders, with the healthy Josh Jacobs, don't know how to run the football. They did give up 340 yards though to Derek Carr and that Raiders passing attack. That's not going to do it there if you are the Denver Broncos. They aren't going to face a very prolific passing attack tonight though. OBJ is a game time decision, I'm guessing. He's suffering from an injury. You're not going to have Baker Mayfield, like I said before. Case Keenum will be starting this game. Let's see if Case Keenum can, just keep that Broncos defense at bay. Don't make a mistake, and just game manage this team to a victory. I don't know if they have enough in this passing attack right now, just health wise. I know they have Donovan Peoples-Jones on the other side if they don't have OBJ. I don't see this being a high-scoring game. I don't see Cleveland putting up 300 yards. I could be wrong. The Denver Broncos were one of the top passing teams in the league prior to last season. They still are, but they gave up a lot last week, and that's just, you just kind of wonder if you have a Case Keenum who has done it before, who has won a playoff game in this league, and we all know that pass to Stephon Diggs against the New Orleans Saints in Minnesota, he's able to do it. If you give him time, if you give him open receivers, Case Keenum can carve you up if you're not ready for him. And seeing as to what Derek Carr did last week to Denver, I would imagine that'd be number one priority for them this week. But it's just to not let Case Keenum beat you, to let Case Keenum beat you, but and not let the running game beat you. Just because Case Keenum can, off play action, like I said, you find a guy wide open deep. You have to, after Nick Chubb has been running over if he can go. I think it's going to be D'Ernest Jones. I think Nick Chubb is out and Kareem Hunt will be out 4 weeks. But D'Ernest Jones, he's still all right. He's not that bad of a back. They still have a good offensive line. I feel like they're going to be able to have a decent day on the ground. I don't think they're going to have a giant game. I think the Cleveland Browns get over 100 yards rushing the football tonight. I think the Denver Broncos do the same. I don't think the Cleveland Browns defense has a particularly good night just because there is a good balance on that Denver front. And they do, like I said, if Teddy Bridgewater is ready, able to go, they do have a competent quarterback who's not going to make a mistake for them. Unlike, what you saw so far this season out of Cleveland, just kind of inconsistency with the Baker Mayfield. And I just, looking at how this game stacks up on with the numbers, I feel like the Denver defense is going to get after it. They're going to make Cleveland one-dimensional. You're going to see Teddy Bridgewater. If you do see Teddy Bridgewater, you're going to see a nice balanced attack out of that Denver offense. You're going to see the running game do well. You're going to see that passing game just be good enough to get them in position to win. And I feel like Denver's going to pull this one off 24-20. Cleveland has a all right game on the ground. They just get swelled up. You become one-dimensional. Teams start targeting you, and you don't have your top two backs in the game. It's going to be difficult for Cleveland to really get going with the way they want. Like I said, they still have the offensive line. Case Keenum is still a competent, more than competent backup. But it is something when it's your third string running back. We saw Khalil Herbert in Chicago have a good game last week against the Green Bay Packers. But with Denver coming into town with a Chubb, a Von Miller, with that Denver defense, I don't think they're going to have as good a game as they would expect if they had a Nick Chubb. I expect them to just get above 100 yards, but I don't expect them to do much through the air. I think that Denver defense is going to keep them at bay. I think you might get a sack or two out of a Myles Garrett, but for the most part, I think a balanced Denver attack will beat this team, especially when you're one-dimensional like Cleveland Browns. And I don't think they're like I said, if they're not healthy in the receiving core, they're not healthy in their running game. What do they have? So that's what I got, guys. Denver over Cleveland. I expect a good game. I expect a dogfight. I just don't expect the Cleveland Browns to have much late in the game come the late third into the fourth quarter. All right, guys. I'll see you guys at the half. I'll probably be going live at about 4 or 5 minutes just to talk about it in case it's close. Even if it's not, just talk you guys into halftime. All right. Peace.